Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. All right, Elon Musk is has to step down as the chairman of the board of Tesla. It's strange that this news is, and actually the settlement was just agreed upon. I think today or this evening. This is from Saturday night. They agreed to settle. Elon Musk agrees to pay 20 million and quits as Tesla chairman and deal with SEC. But according to a couple different places, Bloomberg, it seems like it's a win for him. I like Elon Musk quite a bit. I don't know that much about him. I'm late to the game on learning about him, but I think he's totally cool. And I think if you're a Tesla investor, and I'm fairly, interested in financial things, investing, if you're a Tesla investor, you want him as your chairman of the board, and you want him as your, he's a phenomenon. He's almost more than that. He's just amazing. So, but he gets to stay on as CEO, so it's seen as a win because I think the SEC, which announced on Friday that they were going to sue him. I know this is all about him, his claim of taking the company private. This happened back in August, I think August 7th. He tweeted he was considering taking it private. I forget exactly at what price. I think at $420, something like that. And the claim, it was, I think he had, the suggestion was that he had, some Saudi investors that he was going to help finance bringing it private, as well as, I guess some of his own money. I don't really know. But here's the tweet from August 7th. AM considering taking Tesla private at $420, funding secured. The SEC alleged Musk made the claim, even though he had not even discussed, much less confirmed, key deal terms, including price, with any potential funding source. I understand you can't do that. Even though I like Elon Musk, and pretty much uniformly across the board, any financial reporter said you just can't do that because of a company that's publicly financed. There are rules, and that's going to affect the stock price. And you have other investors besides himself, whatever. But I'm fully on his side no matter what. I like to do tons. So he gets to stay on as CEO. He has to step down as chairman. It's a 3-year though, ban from being the chairman of the board. So after 3 years, he can be reelected to board. What isn't clear to me and I looked in 3 different articles, I still don't understand if he can stay on as a board member. I understand it says again and again that he can't. He's got to step down in 45 days from the chairman of the board position. But I don't understand if he's allowed to remain on as one of the board members and therefore, being able to exercise a vote, So I don't know. But it does say that they have to add two new independent directors. And why it characterizes them as that. The company also agreed to appoint 2 new independent directors to its board and establish a board committee to oversee Musk's communications, including his Twitter account. He hasn't tweeted since this settlement, and I don't expect he will. That would be pretty insane if he did. And his brother also hasn't. And his brother is one of the board members, which I didn't even know until I looked it up. The board is, I'm just jumping all over the place, is right here with Elon Musk. He has to step down in 45 days. I think I already said that. And they also were fined a total of $40 million, 20 of which has to be paid by Elon Musk himself, and then the other 20 has to be paid by the company. And the 40 million will be distributed to investors that suffered losses as a result of the actions of the claim of, making it go private. Because I think initially, if I recall, it made the stock price go up, but it's down from that point. But, it's just, it's a high-flying stock. It's a high-risk, it's just a volatile stock, partly because of himself, and I don't mean that in any way of a criticism. I think this guy is just the absolute coolest, man. I mean, I can't, I don't get it, I don't get, like, everyone... and I don't understand why so many people dislike this dude. It just absolutely baffles my mind. For somebody, he's like everything you would want from, from an executive. I mean, like, everybody complains about executives being rich and greedy and just, just nasty individuals and just ruthless and terrible people. And I'm sure he has some of those qualities, but he's just so different, and he inspires me. And he's just cool, man. Besides being a visionary and everything else, it's just, he's like exactly what you would want. And so I just don't understand why some people dislike him. And I hear all sorts of criticism about Tesla and the claims made against it, that it's running out of cash, and, and there's no way I'm going to even get into all these various things that people say about him that I believe are not true. I mean, in my opinion, the demand for his vehicles is in excess, and that's what the problem is. But it's a good problem to have, because he can't keep up with the demand. And that's why, like, he's building facilities, manufacturing facilities out of tents, which are only temporary, while they build real facilities, because they basically just, the demand for the vehicles is so great. That's a good thing. That's just a broad, that's an oversimplification of what's going on in his company. But I'm just telling you, my overall sense is that it's nothing but success in his path. And so you would want him as your chairman of the board as well as your CEO. And he's staying on CEO anyways. The odds are that at the end of the 3 years, he's going to be chairman again. It says in this Bloomberg article, there aren't so far no names of necessarily. I mean, it's been so quick. It just was announced tonight. This deal was just announced tonight. So it's not as though it's just being reported on now. It literally was just agreed upon this evening. But no names supposedly are emerging, because of it's just a temporary reprieve from the chairman thing. So the likelihood is he's going to go back to being chair at the end of the 3 years. But it remains to be seen who will actually fill the empty seat. In addition of two more independent directors, as also stipulated in the settlement, may give any candidate some hope of exercising real power. But the 3-year time limit on Musk's exclusion, and the reality that for many fans he personifies, the company, may also deter true heavy hitters from taking on what could end up amounting to a lame duck job. He's the largest shareholder. I don't know everybody else on this board. The names that just jumped out at me was James Murdoch, who's the chief executive of Fox, who I believe is one of Rupert Murdoch's sons. Kimbal Musk, who I didn't even know. At first I thought it was a chick. But it's his brother, and that's who this is. I'm familiar with him once I saw that cowboy hat, and I think that's one of his staples. But he's a super huge success in his own right. He's on the board of Chipotle and SpaceX. I thought they were. He was the co-founder of that Boring Company, or whatever it's called. I think it's called Boring Company. But I don't know who these other people are and who they're allied with. And I assume some of them are strong allies of Elon Musk. But 2 more independent directors will be added to this as well. So, yeah, pretty crazy, though. Did I cover everything? Tesla was also charged with failing to have disclosure controls in place relating to Musk's tweet. Musk and Tesla agreed to pay the SEC $20 million each. The settlement tentatively ends a chaotic period. Supposedly it was down 30% from the time that he made this tweet, but I think he actually got a huge bump from the tweet. Tesla shares dropped $264.77 as on Friday, down 30% since the day of Musk's tweet. But they were down 14% Friday, so for half of that 30% was Friday. I think because the SEC announced that it was going to sue him, it did. So that's pretty much the story there. I seriously doubt you're going to see any tweets from anybody. Nope. No, sir. So, that's the story there, man. Saturday news, strange. Alright, man, thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I will see you in the next video. Later, man.